Hello, guys. Thank you for taking time out of your day to stop by and watch part one of my series. My name is Christy. I am the owner of the Sip Gypsy, and I have a mobile coffee trailer. And I just created the series to kind of share with you guys, the things that I've learned and how to start and hopefully one day have your own coffee trailer. I hope by now that you all have subscribed to my channel. If not, please go hit that subscribe button, and that'll just keep you updated on new videos that I post, and it also just helps me grow, and I really would appreciate just going and hitting that button. So let's dive into where to get started. All right. First things first is before anything else, figuring out the item, what it is you're going to carry. What is your truck? What is it going to be? Are you going to do tacos? Is it going to be baked potatoes? Is it barbecue? Is it drinks? Is it coffee? What do you want to do? This is so important because it will determine every step from here forward of what you do. So definitely get you a piece of paper, write down, what it is that you want to do, what you're thinking about having, and nail down exactly what you want to focus on in your truck. And that'll be your building block on how to move forward. Okay, so the second thing that you do, now that you have figured out exactly what it is that you want to cook or have or serve, you'll need a business name. This seems simple enough, but there are resources on Google where you can go in and type in, so say you're going to be a barbecue truck, you can type in, restaurant names for barbecue, and it'll just kind of generate some ideas or something like that. Definitely try to make it something unique. I think the cutest thing I think about food trucks is the creative names that people use for them. I just think they are in a league of their own. So nobody's saying that you have to do that, but that is, it's so creative and so cute. But find something that, means something to your business. What are you trying to do in your business? Are you over the top, or are you, a craft specialty kind of business? Just really take time on this part of your process in your business, and just really make this something that screams, this is what my business wants to do. This is my focus. This is what I'm giving you. Okay, so now at this point you have your name figured out. You know what it is that you're serving. So this is the time where you will take that name and you'll get your LLC filed. Now, if you're still a couple years out or something like that from having a food truck, don't run out and get your LLC. Obviously, that's in the future. But if this timeline is more for people who are interested in getting a food truck, more now within like a year's time frame. And if you're not, that's okay. This is still the same steps. You can watch this through, and at least you'll have, a guide on what to do. And there are steps that you can do, you know, past the LLC, and you can go ahead and start on those as well. But if this is something you want to do within, a year, this is the process, the steps that I would take. So go get that LLC filed, get it on record and ready to go. And then I highly recommend, I went to an accountant to file mine. And I think some attorneys do them as well. You can do this by yourself. There are resources online to file this yourself. I am a worrywart, and I was like, what if I do it wrong? What if I mess it up? I'm not trying to get myself in any sort of legal trouble. So an accountant will do this, and an attorney. So you can make an appointment with either one of them if you're like me and you're not comfortable taking that on by yourself, because there's already enough things in this whole process that you're going to do on your own. Um, so you feel overwhelmed and overloaded, or at least I did. And I definitely was not tackling that one. But if you can do it yourself, it's there, and that is an option. But make sure you get that done. That provides you with so many different, it separates you from your business. That's really the best way I know how to do it. You're no longer personally liable for your business. Your business is reliable, for itself, or responsible for itself, whatever. So definitely get that file. Okay, the next thing that I want to talk about is finding sourcing for your products. This is so important. As a small business, we don't have the luxury of having a warehouse that, everything goes to and we just order from our own warehouse. So you can have 10, 15, 20 vendors, some of them local, or some of them you have to order from, some of them other small businesses. Vendors are something you don't want to lose track of. So I highly recommend having some sort of spreadsheet or something that lets you know, like, I order this from there. Go to Google, contact other small businesses. A lot of small businesses are so willing to give information out, and just kind of share what they know. There are a few that are kind of crabby, and we call them gatekeepers, whatever. But a lot of them I have learned from communicating and just the circles that I've been put in with what I do. They really like to share, any help or information that they can give you. They're more than willing to give that information away. So try to just talk to them, that are doing something along the lines of what you're doing, and just get as much information from them as you can. Like, where do you order your things from? Like, how did you find them, at least? Do you have any information you can give me? Google is also another great resource for that. Google will, you can do anything on Google. But figure out where you're going to get all your items from. You need to know before you ever get started, like, hey, where am I even going to get this? What do I need? How am I going to get a list together if you haven't even figured out what all you're going to need yet? So this is a vital part of this process, is finding sourcing and knowing the items that you're going to need. So once you figure out, are you going to need takeout containers? Are you, like, this goes back to determining the item, that you're going to sell. That lets you know, okay, what does it take to make that item? What do I need to serve it to people? How am I going to cook this item? I mean, this is a very detailed part of what you do. Like, it's more than just, where am I going to get, macaroni noodles for my mac and cheese truck? This is everything. Your cooking supplies, your cooking equipment, your takeout equipment, the food part of it, everything that you will possibly need to run your business. This is the time that you figure out, where's it coming from, and write it down. Because if you're not ordering it right now, you may forget in the future, like, oh, I found that, that I needed on this, this website or from this business. Write it down. Like, I found it here. This is where I will end up ordering it from. I've contacted this company. They seem, like the best one for me to go with. Take notes, write every bit of it down. This, you cannot skip this step. Do not skimp on this step. Don't, oh, like, I found that a couple months ago. That's where I'm going to use. Don't do that to yourself. Make a detailed sheet. Get this information all down before you put yourself in a pickle. All right, so now at this point, you have figured out what it is you're going to serve. You've got your name. You've already created your business. Now you know where you're getting all of your items from. So next would be, go ahead and start creating all of the social media platforms that you want to use. So Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, any of those that you plan on using in your business, go ahead and get those pages created. And I guess I should kind of flip back a little bit. When you figure out your business name, that, I kind of left it out, but that goes hand in hand with your logo. Like, have your business name and your logo, all in one. Like, get that done. So when you get all of your social media pages created and all of that, that's where you'll use your logo, your color schemes, and everything. You don't have to necessarily post on them at this moment, but have them created, have your name saved already. Go ahead and fill out all of your information, any contact information that you plan on using for the for your food truck and things like that. Just go ahead and get it all out and filled out on those, so that way they're ready for when you actually do start serving. And I'm going to get to another step that those come into play, but right now just get those created. Okay, so now you have all of your social media pages created. So now's the point where you start creating your items. Again, you still do not have a food truck. This is where you're going to start making the items that you want to carry. So if you're a drink trailer, start experimenting with drinks. Get your whole menu down. As you're experimenting, you made something. Is that going on your menu, or are you Xing it out? This is how you're going to know exactly what that menu is going to look like. And then as you're making them, so what I did personally was, again, this was before I had my truck, I would start taking pictures of the items that I created that were going to be menu staples that I liked. And, I was like, okay, yep, this is definitely going on the menu. I started posting those to my social media pages that I had created. So you can start building your audience before you ever even have, your truck. So definitely take time when you're experimenting to take pictures and start growing your following. That will help you and get you 10 steps ahead when you actually want to start getting people coming to your truck. You'll already have the following. They'll see the things you're creating. You're going to build up, that, oh my gosh, we need to try that. And they're going to be just literally waiting to try you out because they've been watching you create and post and see all these things that they're interested in. Okay, so now you've started posting and growing your following. You've been creating items and experimenting. So now it's time that you take all of those items that you made and the ones that you have your heart set on, those become your menu. Go ahead and get your menu made. There is a resource that I use, and it's called Canva. It's canva.com, Canva. I'll link it in the description below as well. You can make any digital piece of anything that you want to make through Canva, whether it be a Facebook post or a YouTube cover, whatever it is, menus, flyers, all of those things there. Go to Canva and you will see what I'm talking about. There's just so much on there. Use it. Make your menu. Use anything you can in Canva to make the most clear and professional menu that you can. And if this is something you can't do yourself, you can outsource it. But Canva's pretty easy to use. And if you know of another program, that's easier, you can try that out as well. But get your menu made. It is time that you have a menu. Get that posted to your socials. Okay. So now you have the back side of your business, created and ready to go. At this point, you would contact the health department and say, I'm ready to buy a food truck. What do I need to do? What do I need to look for? What do I need to have? What are the, restrictions? Just ask them anything you can think of, ask them, because they are going to be the ones that decide whether you have this food truck or not. It's definitely going to be up to them. They're the ones that do your inspection. They're the one that gives you the license. The biggest hurdle that I ran into was plumbing. So I live in a small town. Some of you are from the same town as me. Some of you that find this video may be from anywhere. But I live in a very small town. In the state of Kentucky, which I am in, the plumbing is like the number one thing they look at. It has to be done by a master plumber. It can't be done by just any plumber. And that master plumber has to submit the plans for the plumbing to Frankfurt, and they have to be approved. It is literally like you are submitting for a restaurant that is a brick and mortar. It's the same thing for a food truck. And it is not the same as any other state that I have found. So just a little backstory to how I know this. So we bought a food truck out of Tennessee. And it was already being used as a food truck in Tennessee. And we thought to ourselves, oh, this is a good deal. And we'll be able to just, plug and play, pretty much is what we thought. Well, I had not contacted the health department before we bought our trailer. And honestly, I don't think I would go back and do it any different. I mean, I would contact them first. But, we got such a good deal that it played out to where it was okay. But some instances, if you don't get a great deal like we did, I mean, this could really end up hurting somebody. So the trailer that we bought, we ended up having to gut it. It did not meet up to any of the standards or codes for Kentucky. And keep in mind, it was being used as a food truck. So that right there tells you why it is so important to know, from the health department themselves. And it's different. I will tell you right now, from just county to county, it's different. But here's the thing. Once you get it in one county, it is called a statewide. So it's good for the whole state. But getting it, is the thing. So contact the health department. Ask them, what do I need? What do I need to look for? What things will make sure that this passes the inspection? And I will do a separate part past this, but contacting your health department and getting all this information is the key before you ever touch a truck. Don't even look at trucks. Don't even think about it until you call the health department. Okay. And your local health department, whatever county you live in, is the health department that you call. So again, back to the plumbing, because that was the main thing in Kentucky and in a small town. Finding a plumber that knows anything about food trucks is very hard. I found one local plumber out of the surrounding towns. Maybe there's more, but I called anybody and everybody that I could find, and I found one. And he was booked out because apparently he was the only one. He had like 4 or 5 trucks ahead of me, and also other plumbing things that he was doing. And he was like, it's going to be months before I could even think about getting to your truck, and I needed a faster timeline. So I had to end up outsourcing to a bigger city, and that cost me a ton of money. So my number one advice that I can give you is buy a truck that is already being used in Kentucky. If you're getting a used one, make sure it is being used in Kentucky. That will save you so much headache and money and just stress. Make sure it's being used here. Now, if you're going to build one, I still recommend having a food truck builder out of Kentucky that knows the Kentucky guidelines. And this goes for any state. So if you're watching this in a different state, make sure it's being made out of your state. I have seen so many horror stories of people buying them. They'll buy one out of Texas and they're from Oklahoma, and they literally, every bit of money they spent, they're just ripping it out of that truck and having to redo it. So every state's different. Every county within that state's different. Call your health department before you do a thing. And then once you do that and you got a plumber lined up, or your truck's already, good to go, you're ready to start, shopping for trucks and start moving forward on that process. So I'm going to end part 1 here at shopping for trucks and figuring out your truck. And hopefully this has been informative in some way for you guys. And like I said, if you have any questions whatsoever about any of the topics that I went over and you want me to elaborate, or there's something that I skipped out on, or maybe just wanting to know some of the resources for these things that maybe I didn't mention, leave them in the comments. And I can't wait to make part 2. And I hope that you guys have some good questions for me, because this is something that I know firsthand that a lot of you guys want to do, and I hope that I can help somebody, get into this, because this is it's so fun, and I know how hard it is, and I just hope, this at least helps one of you. So again, if you have any questions, let me know, and thank you guys for watching. And just one more time, if you could please go hit that subscribe button for me, I would really appreciate it, and thank you for tuning in.